I see it preparing. Great. Okay. So welcome everybody. Afternoon, and really glad that you could join us. My name is Kerry Brink. I'm from WWF Netherlands, and I'm going to go live to Paul Hac in Romania, where we want to celebrate barrier removal in Romania and hear all about the work that he and his colleagues are doing from Fauna and Flora International. This is a Dam Removal Europe initiative. It's part of a bigger project that is funded from Open Rivers program to really build the movement of barrier removal in Southeastern Europe. And we really want to inspire people and show people that barrier removals can be done and why we need to remove barriers. So Paul Hac is from Fauna and Flora International. He has 20 years of experience in conservation. He worked at National Park for a number of years, and then started with Fauna and Flora International, where he focused on dam removal and wildlife crime. He's now working on Open Rivers program proposals and projects, and also working on building the movement up there. And we really want to talk to him about this specific weir removal case that he and his team are working on. So, Paul, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And we really love to hear more about this project. But before we do that, tell us, why barrier removal?
Hi, Kerry, and hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me and for giving us the opportunity to talk a little bit about the barrier removal in Romania. So, yeah, why dam removal? Actually, I told you previously that I personally was quite skeptical that barrier removal could work in Romania, at least in this period of time. And I discussed with you guys, and we discussed from Fauna and Flora, we discussed with people from World Fish Migration Foundation, and with the support of them and with the support of Open Rivers, we managed to organize the first national workshop in Romania back in 2023. So Fauna and Flora was the main actor, I would say, on that event. And since then, a lot of other organizations joined the movement. And we can say now that we have quite a stable and functional network of NGOs and institutions that are interested and that are involved in this movement, which is great. It's more than we expected at the beginning. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you're building the movement, creating awareness, and of course looking at projects to remove. Tell us a little bit about the work relating to the implementation of barrier removal in Fauna and Flora International.
Yes. So after we organized that national event, basically, we managed to bring on board the National Water Authority, which was the main actor to be brought on board. And since then, we started to work on applications, and with their support, we implemented an A1, Open Rivers A1 project, and we managed to make the inventory of about 2,000 kilometers of rivers in Western Romania. And we identified almost 350 barriers on these 2,000 kilometers. And more than half of them were not registered, officially registered on a water management database that they have. So they were very happy because they could see that the collaboration with organizations like Fauna and Flora and the others could bring benefits to national institutions. basically they improved their database, and that was very good. And they are now very open to collaborate with us. Besides that, we supported other organizations to apply for grants to open rivers. So basically, on the previous call on open rivers, I think we had, 8 projects from Romania submitted, which is good. The movement is still at the beginning. That's why we are now here in this place, and we are not basically showing a removal, but a barrier that we hope to remove, because like I said, we just started. There are other applications around the country on A2 and A4 for removal, but we don't have removals yet. The process takes a little bit longer to get all the approvals and so on. But I think we are on the right track.
Yeah. So for those who are not so familiar with Open Rivers program, there's A1, which is the catchment identification of barriers, and then A2 is the actual preparation for the barrier removals, and then A3 is the removal, the actual demolition of the barriers. So Paul, you say there was eight projects that are being developed. And these projects, they are around the preparation for removal of barriers, or is it a combination of the identification of barriers and preparation or demolition?
Some of them are focusing or going on with the inventory on A1 to identify new barriers. And some of our partners basically applied, and fortunately, we were able to support them on that. But some applications are already focusing on demolitions, and honestly, we cannot wait to reach that moment, and to be able to maybe show to the others and make a live stream with the demolition. Why not? Like maybe in other countries, the process is quite long, and we need a lot of permits in order to demolish a barrier. But once the owner agreed, and we have the support of National Authority,
I don't hear you so well.
things are right there.
Oh, I can't hear you very well.
A little bit closer. I can
Let's
try to speak louder. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, I think it was just the connection that dropped away a little bit.
Maybe.
Yes, but you're good. You're on track. You were busy talking about the owners,
Okay.
something relating to the owners of the barriers.
Yeah, what I tried to say was that once we have the approval of the owner, and since we have the support of National Water Authority, then the removal, it's just a matter of time. So we are on the track with some barriers around the country, not necessarily this one, but we will discuss about that, I'm assuming, during this interview. Yeah.
Yes. So your Paul, we don't hear.
Can you hear me now, Kerry?
Not very well, no. So I wonder, your
Kerry, can you hear me?
Frozen. Your screen has frozen. Would you be able to put your camera off just for a little bit?
Yeah, we can try that.
We try that just for a minute.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Let's see.
Can you hear me better now?
Well, I don't. It seems really still a little bit patchy, unfortunately. We'll try a little bit more.
Can you hear me better?
Yes, we can hear you better. Yes. So hopefully we can continue the interview, and hopefully I would love also to see and to show the audience what this barrier looks like, and a little bit more about that. But before we go into that, the owner, who is the owner of the barriers in Romania, and specifically then of this one?
Okay, so there are many barriers around Romania, across Romania, and of course there are different owners. I stopped just a bit just to make sure you can hear me well. Can you hear me well now?
Yes, we can hear. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, like I said, there are many owners and administrators. I would say the main administrator is the Water Management Authority, but there are other owners like this one here, because we are basically on a site that was that is a former micro hydropower plant, which is owned by the national agency dealing with hydropower plants across the country, and which is called Hidroelectrica. So they own this barrier,
Okay.
like many others.
Yeah.
And I will try to turn on the camera just to show you the barrier itself. I am basically standing on the barrier. Can you hear me well, Kerry?
Yes, I can hear you well. Yes, I would love to see this barrier, and I see you well. So fingers crossed we keep that internet connection. Oh no. Paul, not so well. No.
Let's hope the connection will be good. So a catchment for a micro hydropower plant. All right.
Okay, so show us, Paul, behind you. What is, or you're standing? Where are you standing? Can you give a description a little bit about where you're standing and what we're seeing?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
We can.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, I'm standing on the barrier, which is a catchment, like I said, for a micro hydropower plant that was built back in 1986. When I was a child here in this village, they built this micro hydropower plant for a few years, was abandoned. And since then, it is abandoned, and it's still on the river, blocking the connectivity for more than 30 years. So what we did was to approach Hidroelectrica and starting to discuss about these cases, mostly about this one and another one not that far from here. And we tried, and we are trying to convince them that this type of barriers cannot stay forever on the rivers blocking the connectivity. We will need it one day. Maybe we will reactivate it one day. But let's be honest, if in the last 30 years, it was not performing, it was not economically.
Hey, Paul, sorry, I need to interrupt you.
In the future,
I would love to see the video, but unfortunately I can't hear you well. So I think we're going to have to switch the video off. And I don't know if
let me
have
know
maybe
if
a picture, Fivos, to share screen. Perhaps maybe we can see a picture while Paul is busy chatting with us. So Paul, we heard about this hydropower plant that is no longer in use, and now you're talking with the barrier owner to say, okay, let's remove it because it's unnecessarily blocking the river system. So
exactly.
Yes. So and can you tell us a little bit more with regards to where you are in these in the process of this removal?
Okay, so before that, it is important to mention that this particular case is not the most advanced one in the country. Like I already mentioned, there are other organizations, partners that already submitted applications for demolition. But the reason we from Fauna and Flora uh, insisted to come to this place was to show you a particular type of barriers, which are these uh, former micro hydropower plants that are basically blocking the connectivity, and they are abandoned, like I said, for many, many years. So, of course, the context in Europe, when we talk about lack of energy and the need to supply and to produce more energy, is not favorable, because this encourage companies like Hidroelectrica to say, okay, maybe we will reactivate them. But if you come in the field and see that this is basically abandoned, it's a mess. It's the debit of the river is getting lower and lower because of the climate change. There are very low chances that will happen in the future. And the question is, for how long these barriers will be maintained on the river? For the next 100 years or what? So basically, this is, like I said, just a type of barriers. And we started to collaborate and to discuss with Hidroelectrica even from 2023, because fortunately they were part of the national event we organized together in Bucharest. And they attended that workshop, and maybe that was the beginning of the discussions. But just a few weeks ago, we were lucky enough to meet one of their top management leaders in Bucharest, and we discussed particularly about this barrier and another similar barrier. And hopefully, we are still waiting for some signals from them. But as we could realize, they became more flexible to discuss about this, because a few years ago uh, we had no chance to approach them with such topics.
Wow, that's fantastic, Paul. So you're really making progress. And we indeed see a lot of debris and upstream. There's a lot of actually maintenance that needs to be done there. So removing these unwanted barriers are really important. In terms of evaluation of what the status is in terms of fish populations, the hydrology, what the current situation is, have you or do you plan to do any studies?
Yes, we are, like I said, discussing now with Hidroelectrica, and we actually invited them here to see the reality in the field. I mean, from the Bucharest, from the top management to come here in the field and to present some of the data we have and some of the species that are here. We didn't start the basically studies, specific studies for demolition until we have the approval from the Hidroelectrica. But we already have some studies from, I would say, other sources. For example, there are Natura 2000 sites along these rivers, and we know for sure that we have Triturus cristatus, for example. We have Lutra lutra, so the otter. So and then we have historically here we have European bullhead. Um, and last year we repopulated this river with trout. It was a very nice event. We involved the local school, and we had the kids releasing the trout juveniles into this river. But unfortunately, of course, if the higher currents bring the trout uh, downstream, they cannot swim back upstream for spawning. So there are a few species already that we know about, and of course, other studies have to be um, initiated also on sediments, because here where I'm standing, basically, I think I mentioned that during the preparation work we had. Yesterday, I came here to see the site again, and I tried to come from upstream, and I got completely stuck because of the sediments upstream, because of the rotted leaves, and so on. So the whole ecosystem is basically changed, and all of these have to be, of course, analyzed during the studies that we will hopefully be able to initiate.
Fantastic. So you mentioned that you releasing trout and the communities were involved with that. Have you had any discussions with the communities regarding barrier removal, and what is there? Is there any expressions of unhappiness, or is there any discussions around that?
Yes, when we released the trout, basically that was the perfect moment for us to bring into discussion this topic of barrier remover, and we discussed about this barrier particularly. We also had the media, the press came to that event of trout releasing, and we took the advantage of that particular event, and we discussed about this barrier. So there are I would say there is no opposition in the local community, because, and couldn't be, because once you come here and see that everything is abandoned for more than 30 years, like I said, and doesn't look good at all, and everybody is saying, okay, if the micro hydropower plant was useful, why is not still in use? And obviously, it was not economically efficient and have to be removed.
Yeah.
Has to be removed. Uh, this is basically just uh, just something that remained. It's just uh, uh, it's just something that it's not useful at all, and the micro hydropower plant is is gone. Basically, it's not working anymore. All the facilities were basically uh, destroyed or disappeared, or but we still have these barriers. So yeah, definitely we have to remove it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. So you have exciting work ahead of you, removing inefficient hydropowers and removing obsolete barriers, which is fantastic. Do you have any other barriers within the catchment, within the region, that you are also working on and plan to remove? What are your next steps and plans?
Yes, when we managed to implement that A1 project that I told you about, and we managed to make the inventory of the barriers for 2,000 kilometers. We identified, like I said, almost 350 barriers, and we took all these barriers and we analyzed them. We tried to find the owners, which is the hardest part, because some of them are abandoned for many, many years. There are no papers. Nobody really knows who's the owner and so on. And that's a long process. And we started to do that. We identified a few more barriers besides this one that can be basically removed. And we are working now on identifying the owners, and hopefully we will be able to submit uh, at least one application for the next call on Opal Rivers. But we are, I would say, we are happy because we were able to help other organizations to develop, to submit applications and to start make the inventory and to remove barriers. So things are moving, even if we don't have yet a demolition, like I said, things are moving. The movement is quite young, and it's moving in the right direction.
Super fantastic. And I love, Paul, that you really also want to bring in others, and you recognize that you can't do this on your own, and you need others to also be implementing barrier removal projects, and to show the actually why it's so important, and to have more examples of when we see the barrier removed, that the fish are coming back, that the sediment is being transported, the nutrients are more in a good cycle, and the ecosystems are working better for nature and for humans as well, which is really great.
Exactly. I can say that maybe in the last 1 year, I think our work was focusing more in helping other organizations and partners than working directly on our applications. So it is important, like you said, to bring others on board and to expand the network.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Paul, for your enthusiasm for holding the banner for barrier removal. Yes, let's see if we have some connection before we close off. Maybe we see.
At least to see the barrier a little bit better.
Yes, yeah. And now your connection. If maybe we can just see Paul, it will be great.
Of course.
Yes.
Let's start over.
There we go. That's great. Yeah. Nice.
So this is upstream.
Great.
And you can see all the trunks and the debris at the base of the barrier. The debit of the water is not that high now, and basically doesn't flow over the barrier. It goes around through there, but everything is not a very, very nice sight to see.
Yeah. And there's no infrastructure around. It's just this hydropower, or is there other infrastructure that you have to take into consideration with this removal?
No, there are some concrete walls that channelize the water besides this barrier itself. But otherwise, if we talk about restoring the connectivity, basically if we manage to remove this concrete weir that I'm standing on, which is about 2 meters high, by the way, in that case, we can restore the connectivity, and that would be great.
Fantastic. Wow. That's really great. I'm so pleased that we were able to see a little bit of the site that you're standing on, Paul. Really great work. Thank you so much. And we then say goodbye. But before we say goodbye, I want to highlight that there is another live event coming on Thursday. At the same time, we're going to Wales. We're going to hear about the work that they're doing there. So I say goodbye until Thursday. Keep well, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.